What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. We're back. Yeah, took a few extra videos off here over the holiday weekend. Hope you had a fabulous holiday weekend. Me and my wife celebrated our 12th wedding anniversary. Yeah, 12 years married, and we've actually been together for about 19 years. Yeah, so wow, time flies. Time flies. Let me know what you did for the holiday weekend down below in the comments section. Yeah, we had some family over, we had some friends over, and got some relaxation in. Yeah, Julian went over to Papa's house for our anniversary. We ordered some takeout in and got some cone of silence, and it was nice. It was nice. Yeah, so take a look at what we got to go over here today. New mandates coming in, new that are already coming in, and some that are already in effect here. I'll show you it here. I'll let you hear directly from the White House and President Biden. This comes as the Bidens are testing positive already for the virus, believe it or not. And wow. And you guys can let me know your experience here with the virus, what you've had or what family members have had down below in the comments section. We've actually caught the virus, our family here, twice after going 2.5 years without catching the virus at all. We did catch it one time after going to Disney in Florida. It was like a germ fest there. Wow. It's just like, parents just brought their kids and everybody was like coughing. It was like, why do people bring their kids to Disney and sick? And as such, we just, at the end of the trip there, we caught it for the first time ever. And then another time coming back from traveling, we caught it as well. But we survived, and we're still here, thank the Lord. But now it's going around here yet again. You guys can let me know your thoughts on. Everybody has their own different opinions here on the virus, the vaccines, and now we're seeing mandates here yet again. Yeah, believe it or not, there are mandates already in effect. I will show you it here directly on the screen. And if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know I always show it to you here directly here on the screen, and I'll actually let you hear directly from the White House and President Biden about the new vaccines that they're coming out with, and also I'll let you hear from former President Donald Trump here, his thoughts as well, because yeah, it's everybody's got different thoughts here on this. First, we'll go to White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. Take a listen here to what she has to say.
And secondly, the president said in Tahoe that he had tentatively decided to recommend everyone get the new vaccine. When is he going to decide finally?
So I think you've heard from the FDA and CDC. They've made an announcement on the new vaccine. So certainly they said that there'll be an updated vaccine mid-September, I believe. So we know that, as you all know, vaccinations against COVID-19 remains the safest protection for avoiding hospitalization, long-term health outcomes, and death, which is why we are going to be encouraging Americans to stay up to date on their vaccines. I would refer you to DHS, as they have, I just mentioned, FDA and CDC mentioned that they'll have the new vaccines by mid-September.
Yeah, and we'll go to the president here in a second. Believe it or not, the CDC expects new COVID vaccines from Pfizer, Moderna, and Novavax to be available here in mid-September. Yeah, expects updated vaccines to be available to the public here in mid-September. That amounts to the most specific timeline to date for new shots, which are designed to target the Omicron subvariant XBB.1.5. Those vaccines still need approval from the FDA and the CDC, which will form eligibility guidelines. Here is what President Biden has to say. Take a listen.
Mr. President, can you say anything about the uptick of COVID cases and the new variant?
Yes, I can. Matter of fact, I signed off this morning on a proposal we have to present to the Congress a request for additional funding for new vaccine that is necessary, that works. And tentatively, not decided finally yet, tentatively it is recommended that, it will likely be recommended that everybody get it, no matter whether they got it before or not.
Now, this comes here as today, the First Lady, Jill Biden, tests positive for the virus. President Biden tests negative so far. The White House says here, this is literally today. And yeah, First Lady Jill Biden has tested positive just days before President Joe Biden, who tested negative as of now, is due to travel to the G20 Group of 20 summit in India. The White House said Jill Biden, who is 72 years old, whose symptoms were described as mild, last had COVID in August of last year. The president, who is now 80, last tested positive in July of 2022. Our thoughts and prayers for them. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. And we'll see if the president catches it, because obviously, they're probably in close quarters of each other, and we'll see if they're even able to go, if he's even able to go to the G20. Here's what former President Donald Trump said, and then I'll get to the mandates that are happening, and which more and more are happening here as we're speaking. Take a listen to what former President Donald Trump has to say.
The left-wing lunatics are trying very hard to bring back COVID lockdowns and mandates with all of their sudden fear-mongering about the new variants that are coming. Gee whiz, you know what else is coming? An election. They want to restart the COVID hysteria so they can justify more lockdowns, more censorship, more illegal drop boxes, more mail-in ballots, and trillions of dollars in payoffs to their political allies heading into the 2024 election. Does that sound familiar? These are bad people. These are sick people we're dealing with. But to every COVID tyrant who wants to take away our freedom, hear these words: we will not comply. So don't even think about it. We will not shut down our schools. We will not accept your lockdowns. We will not abide by your mask mandates. And we will not tolerate your vaccine mandates. They rigged the 2020 election, and now they're trying to do the same thing all over again by rigging the most important election in the history of our country, the 2024 election, even if it means trying to bring back COVID. But they will fail because we will not let it happen. When I'm back in the White House, I will use every available authority to cut federal funding to any school, college, airline, or public transportation system that imposes a mask mandate or a vaccine mandate. Thank you very much.
Now we'll get into COVID cases and mask mandate updates. California officials address rising COVID cases. Los Angeles County had a press conference saying that over the past week, cases have doubled. They were asked about the potential return to mask mandates and if the county would ever make them mandatory again, saying, quote, "Ever is not a word I'm not comfortable with. There's not that level of certainty with this pandemic. I'm never going to say there's not going to be a time when we all need to put our masks back on again. I am going to say we certainly don't all need to put our masks back on now. We are at a place where people make their own assessment." In California, the largest populated state, data from the government shows that hospitalizations from the virus are increasing by 10.1% compared to the previous week, with a weekly total number of hospitalizations at 2,620. Across the United States, data from the CDC shows an 18.8% increase of COVID hospitalizations for the week of August 13 to August 19. Mask mandates return in some places as COVID cases rise. Take a look. There were nearly 13,000 people nationally hospitalized with COVID-19 last week, a number that has doubled since late June, according to the CDC. In Atlanta, Morris Brown College announced a 2-week mask requirement as well as a ban on large gatherings. Wow. So not only mask mandates, but bans on large gathering. They're literally not letting you even gather in large, they're not even letting people gather together. Wow. Some hospitals have also begun to require face coverings again, including Kaiser Permanente in California and 2 upstate medical universities in Syracuse, New York. In fact, my wife just had to go to the doctor for part of her kidney stuff. She's going for a kidney surgery here, actually, in a few weeks. And she had to go to the doctor's at part of a medical center, and they made her wear a mask when she goes in. I don't know if that's, let me know down below in the comment section if that's still commonplace where you are in the state where you are. When you go to like a medical center or a doctor's, do they still make you wear a mask when you walk in? Let me know down below in the comment section. In Kentucky, Lee County School District canceled classes Tuesday and Wednesday and shifted to remote learning Thursday and Friday, citing a wave of students and staff members being ill with COVID, strep throat, the flu, or other illnesses. You know, like, can they even tell the difference between all these different things? You know, like, that's why I feel like some of the, you know, it's difficult, right? In my opinion, right? Yeah. COVID hospitalizations are the highest in Delaware, North Carolina, Missouri, Florida, Hawaii, while Massachusetts, Vermont, Kentucky have seen the largest spikes over the past 2 weeks. I mean, that's like half the country, right? According to the New York Times tracker. What are your thoughts here in the comment section? Are we going through this all over again? Yeah, and remember, we haven't even got to winter yet, where everybody's going to be indoors more, especially in the northern states where it's cold and everybody's inside. School's just starting. Kids in kindergarten and the younger grades. Yeah. So I'll keep you up to date here. If you haven't yet, click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon. New videos come out here. We'll be back to our normal schedule here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's completely free to subscribe. Click the bell icon after you subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos. Also, thanks for liking and share these videos so other people can hear and see this, because your normal news station does not cover this type of news. Click here to see some big news for millions of Americans, or you can click here to see my latest new video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.